Okay, another interview today. We got Will Chapin, everybody. Will, great to have you back.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's fun. I think the last time I interviewed you was ski season, I think, on senior night. Is that right?
Yep, it was ski season, senior night at Proctor.
Yep. That was probably the coldest interview I've ever done. I think it was like
a cold
14 degrees or something.
Yeah, it was cold.
Yeah. So, how have you been?
It's been good. I've had a really good time this fall.
Awesome. So let's get into it. So let's start where you just really first started playing sports. So what age were you when you first started playing sports?
Let's see. I started ski racing when I was 8, and I think I started playing soccer around that same time. I did lacrosse a little bit later, maybe, I don't know, 12-ish, 11-ish, something around there. But yeah, I've been ski racing and playing soccer for the most of my life.
Yeah. So skiing, did you know immediately that you were going to like it or and asked to do it, or was it something that your parents got you interested in?
If I'm being honest, I really, when I started ski racing, I hated it. It was horrible. I looked forward to going to school just because it meant I didn't have to ski race. But then I think my parents forced me to, well, they told me I had to do one season. I couldn't quit midway through. If I didn't like it after one season, I didn't have to do it again. But they also forced me to sign up for a race. And my first race, I was really, really scared. But once I got to the bottom, I was like, I really actually like ski racing. And so then after that, I've really loved it ever since.
Yeah, that's cool. So was skiing the only sport at the point, because I know you talked like a little bit soccer and everything, when that all come into the picture?
You mean soccer?
Yeah, like just not soccer, but like all the other sports. What was the first sport after ski racing that you tried?
To be honest, I think I did soccer like just a little bit before.
Okay.
Because it was like the same year, because like it was the fall before I started skiing that I did club soccer, and that was really fun. Because I don't know, it was a fun sport, and it was like people I like to hang out with, friends I still have today, and yeah, I mean it was really fun. I think my dad was the coach, to be honest, and Lance Klingler, and yeah, it was good.
Yeah, so you enjoyed soccer initially, but you didn't enjoy skiing. What changed with skiing over time?
I don't know. I think I just got closer with the people on the team. So like my brother, Harrison Wilson, Travis, people like that, on the Pats Peak ski team that I just kind of grew up with because we were all on the same team.
Yeah, really good group of guys over there. So what age were you when you first were on the Pats Peak ski team?
Let's see. I started, I think, when I was 8, but I'd been skiing for a little bit before that, but I really started racing when I was 8.
Okay. Yeah, so did you ever look up to like some of the older people who might have been in high school at the time when you were just, a lot younger, and see them coming down the mountain, think that was pretty cool, maybe one day you wanted to do that?
A little bit. I would say, I don't know, with all the gear, I don't think I actually knew who they were. But when I saw them, they looked pretty fast, and I thought that was pretty fun. So I didn't actually know probably who they were, but I definitely wanted to, ski fast and whatnot.
What was your favorite part of trying sports at a young age?
I don't know. You can't really. There's so much room for failure. It doesn't really matter if you mess up or fall or whatever, because at the end of the day, you're not like. It really isn't that big a deal.
Yeah, so what are some of your favorite memories from early on when you first started skiing, or any other sport really?
Good memories. I would say there are a lot. I'm just trying to pick which ones. But I think, just being out there skiing, not even necessarily racing, but like just being out there with my friends, skiing. Honestly, some of the best memories come from like after the race, when everybody's heading home, the mountain's empty, and you're just with your friends doing a few 2 or 3 last laps, and the trails are empty, and it's just hanging out. Whatever happened in the race doesn't really matter, because it's over, and you're just hanging out skiing.
So, of all the mountains in New Hampshire, which ones are like the top three, top five of your favorites, and what are your favorite trails on there? Can you describe them to us a bit?
Yeah, I have to say I have a sweet spot for Cannon Mountain. That's a really good one. Although I'd say I like that more for the free skiing. You mean in terms of racing, free skiing? What?
Just like enjoying skiing down the slope and the whole course of it.
Yeah, yeah. So for free skiing, I'd say I really like Cannon. Just going down from the top. Let's see. You got Vista Way, Tramway, Upper Ravine. Those are all really good trails that I like. But for racing, I think Pat's Peak has a really good slalom hill for racing. That's fun. GS, the Dartmouth Skiway has a really good GS trail, and Waterloo Valley also has a really good GS trail. Those are my two favorite GS trails.
All right. So, have you tried any ski mountains outside of New Hampshire that you really enjoy?
To be honest, I haven't skied that much outside of New Hampshire. I went just recently out west to ski Beaver Creek and Vale really early in November, and they were really fun. I don't know if I'd remember the trail names, but they were just way bigger. They had a lot more snow. It wasn't all that icy. So
I've been there too. That's so much fun skiing over there.
It's really, really nice. But yeah, I really don't ski. I don't think I've ever skied in Vermont, which is crazy. But yeah.
Is there any ski trails or mountains or anything that you've heard about that you really, really want to try this winter or another winter in the future?
I definitely want to ski at Telluride, Colorado.
Oh.
My cousins and my aunts and uncles all live there, and there's my aunt and uncle are ski patrollers there, and so they I've even been out there a few times, but in the summer. We've never gone out in the winter. So at some point, I will be heading out there to ski. It's not an if, it is for sure a when. So I'm getting excited for that whenever that comes around.
Yeah, sounds like fun. So when you first entered high school and everything, what was it like skiing on a team in high school and that whole aspect of it? Because I know high school sports is a lot different from just, the way a lot of other stuff works.
Yeah, very different. Alpine skiing is an individual sport usually, but what I liked about high school racing was that it's like still an individual sport in that you can't really collaborate with anybody on your way down the hill. Not that that would help at all, but that you have to have 4 people ski fast or moderately fast to win the race overall for your team. And you can't just have one person that carries the rest of the team. You need 4 people. So what comes with that is you have to play the game where you balance risk and reward, because you might be able to win the race but at the cost of maybe falling and losing it all. So you kind of have to be a little bit more cautious and maybe accept a slower time, but know that you finished, just so that you can be a bit more reliable on the slopes, so that you don't lose points for your team. But it's definitely an interesting way of ski racing, which I thought was really fun.
What are a lot of different aspects of ski racing that is different from any other sport that we might not necessarily know about if we're not on a ski team?
I would say probably the preparation, in terms of the skis you have to sharpen them. They need to be really sharp. You need to wax them. A lot of times you need to put different top coats and whatnot on to make them go really fast. And again, they need to be really, really sharp. I know a few people, notably one of my closest friends, Harrison, who's just cut their fingers, just lightly grazing the edge, and suddenly it's huge laceration. But yeah, a lot of the preparation of the skis is something that is kind of behind the scenes that not a lot of people know about.
How long of a process is it actually to prepare your skis just on a daily basis? And I know it's longer prior to the start of the season with waxing skis and everything.
I don't know. It depends, because with waxing skis, it can. I don't know. I'd say for waxing, it probably takes 20-25 minutes per pair of ski. But then to sharpen them, it depends because um, there are different ways to do it. You can use manual files, or there are newer devices that kind of speed up the time a lot. But I don't know. I'd say maybe 35-40 minutes total. Um, and
Alright.
you want to do that like, I don't know, once, twice a week, depending on how much you ski that week.
Yeah. So, what are, some of your favorite memories from high school skiing?
Alpine skiing?
Yeah.
Um, let's see. I would say, I think the state meets are always fun because not only is the skiing that day, the day of, really fun, but then the night before we almost always do like a spaghetti dinner with the whole team, some team bonding, stuff like that. And that's really always fun because, it's really nice to have that extra team bonded aspect to it and not just the skiing. But just that the state meets is always fun, and also just the night before.
Yeah, with skiing, we're kind of wrapping up skiing a little bit here. What are your favorite parts of it that you just want other people to know about, or individual experiences that you have?
I don't know. It's just I I think a lot of it depends on. I think skiing's really really fun, but if you want it, how do I put this? It can be kind of easy to get burnt out if you don't have like a bunch of good friends that you're just psyched to meet up with that weekend.
Gotcha.
So if you're doing it like solo for multiple years of your life, it's kind of hard to go through. So it's really important to have a good group of friends to ski with.
With soccer or any other sports you've played, what are your favorite memories from that?
Um, I'd say for lacrosse, winning the championship
Okay.
last spring was super fun. That whole that playoff stretch for I think it was maybe like a week and a half where we weren't supposed to win any of the games, but we just kept winning. That was just electric. I loved that. It was a really fun team, really fun year.
Yeah, you had Plymouth, Bow, and then the last
Plymouth,
one.
Bow, and Campbell maybe?
Campbell,
I
yeah,
think it was
that's right.
Campbell.
Yeah.
But especially that Bow game, that was the hugest upset I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That was a really fun game.
Overtime game.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what was the most fun aspect of that game?
I don't know, just the electricity behind it. I think we all came in actually, no, I think we all came in legitimately thinking we had a chance, even though, we lost the first game. I think it was 10-1, and then second game 10-5 or something. And yet the mentality was still there, we got to win this. And the ball started rolling, and we just kept moving, kept scoring, and brought out the dub.
Yeah, I mean, you had that. You advanced to the championship, beat Campbell there, get to be in the parade through town for the championship, right after graduation and everything. So that's just the way to end your high school sports career,
awesome.
with a championship win. And then moving on to college, throughout that whole process, what was your decision making? Were you thinking, I got to focus on my academics, or I got to go find somewhere where I can try and play sports, or what was that like for you initially when you started that process?
I would say it was mainly academics, although I don't know. It's being farther far north enough where I can ski is really important. It might sound weird, but I don't know. Skiing is a big stress reliever for me, and I knew I wanted to do a lot of academics and stuff, so stress relieving was important for me, and skiing's just fun. So I wanted to be somewhere north, but apart from that, I just wanted a fun school that also probably had engineering, because that's what I'm into.
Yeah, so talk about engineering and everything. I know that was something that you had a lot of interest in high school. So when you were picking your major for engineering, what majors did you look at, and why did you pick that, what specific aspect of engineering and everything?
I don't know. I've always really liked building things, and I like STEM stuff, so I enjoy math a little bit. I think enjoying math is a bit of a stretch, but it's kind of fun sometimes, and I've always liked building things. I've built I did a lot with Legos, and I don't know. I think it's just something I've always wanted to do. I never really had to consider it because I just kind of always knew that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I can relate a little bit with engineering. I mean, definitely a really cool thing, and Legos and everything, just trying to build stuff. So that's all a super cool process. So how's college been for you? What have been some of your favorite memories there with college?
It's been really fun. I would say the one of my favorite things I've done this fall was I joined an ultimate Frisbee team, which it was really sweet. I had a friend who I worked with over the summer recommend that team to me, and he said it was just a really fun group of people. I've never played ultimate Frisbee before, since before this fall I hadn't, and he said it was fine, that like a lot of people hadn't played, and as long as you were like had a good attitude, you were willing to work hard and reasonably good shape, you might have a chance of making the team. And I did, which was pretty sweet because it's a really it's got a good balance of like social life and like it's work hard, play hard. It's got like a good balance of that, if you know what I mean.
Do you feel like there's a similarity in style with that in high school lacrosse?
Yeah, I would say the similarity there is just like the high-paced nature. I think ultimate frisbee is kind of like it's a mix of all different kind of sports because you can't move while you have the disc, which makes it kind of like not basketball. What sport is that like? Not moving when you don't have the disc? I feel like
No. Well, with basketball, like you're not totally wrong. I mean, you can dribble the ball, but the thing is like you can't have it travel full, so you can't carry it. So I think it's kind of similar in that aspect. I mean, lacrosse you can throw it, but you can also run with the ball, so it's not quite like that. I don't know. It's kind of a unique thing, which is what makes it cool.
It's like football too.
Yeah.
You like try to score like touchdowns or whatever, and it's a lot of like quick footwork and stuff. But yeah, it doesn't really fit the category of a singular sport, which is why I like it.
I think you're right. It's like the most similar to football, but it's like different. It's its own thing.
Yeah.
It's not like where you had like tennis, and you can relate that sort of to like pickleball or something like that.
Yeah.
Like you can easily relate those two similarly. So that's pretty cool. Any favorite like memories from college so far, or any favorite plays out there when you were playing ultimate frisbee?
We had a really fun tournament somewhere in Maine. I don't know where it was, but it was pouring rain, like completely soaking wet. And it was my first game, and it was really fun because it was freezing cold, pouring rain, everybody's soaking wet, but like the energy was still there. We had, again, after all the games, we met up. We had dinner at one of my teammates' parents' houses, and there was a lot of bonding afterward, which was nice too. And also, I got a first touchdown, which was awesome.
That's pretty cool. So Will, wrapping it up, I mean, what are your main takeaways from your whole experience, whether it be academically, athletically thus far in your life, and what's your advice for other people who might be headed down a similar path?
I don't know. I think it's really important to kind of have a wide range of sports as you grow up. Like, I think I learned a lot from doing multiple sports and having to kind of manage all of those sports and kind of be able to learn different things from each sport. So I think just having a breadth of different disciplines and sports is really important.
Yeah, so where do you see yourself going down the line in terms of like, school, you got engineering and everything. What do you hope to be working on, and could you see yourself potentially coaching skiing one day?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much idea where I'll be in the future, but I can imagine I'll be, I don't know, at some building engineering type thing. And to answer your question, I mean, probably. I can imagine I'll raise my kids to ski. And yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got. Thanks for your time. Appreciate you, Will.
Thank you.